Welcome to the Crewcast, the Crew's live podcast about video games and all things Crew. Join us and many of your favorite crew members as we review games, talk about the new Crew series, answer your questions, and much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the Crewcast.
Welcome to the Crewcast, episode 8 for June 8th, 2013. Today we've got myself, Gizmo, we've got Bellbuzz, and Piper Bunny. We're going to go straight into the gaming news.
Alright, our first segment, and this is a game that I just can't wait to play. The Last of Us has been gathering rave reviews from all the press so far that have had early copies. We'll have a few links in the description of this video, but what do you guys thought so far about seeing some of the press, if you've been reading some of the reviews? I mean, this thing's getting 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Is it going to hold up when the fans play it? Or is there going to be backlash from people? You know, some people like to hate anything that's getting good reviews, and they want to take the side of, it's okay. But what do you guys think so far about what you've heard about Last of Us?
I think it's definitely going to hold up. I really want to get a PS3 just to play this game specifically. I mean, even when it was first announced, just the idea of the game sounded awesome. And like the amount of effort and work that's gone into the actual game, making the game, you can tell by watching the behind the scenes stuff. So I think this game deserves the 10 out of 10 it's getting. I think it deserves to be the game of the year. It's the game to beat for Game of the Year 2013.
I agree. I think it's going to hold up. I just like I think there's one review where they talk about the interaction between the two main characters, and that just sold it for me. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously The Walking Dead was a brilliant game last year, and that was like very much story-based, story-driven between these two characters. So I think this game kind of is similar in that point where the story is really important in a game.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting, and I didn't really hear much about it because they were kind of tight-lipped, but we're hearing more and more now that The Last of Us is going to have some really cool multiplayer aspects.
Oh yes, I saw the video of that. That looks really interesting and really fun.
They have a mode called Factions, and you have to pick a side and roll with either the Hunters or the Fireflies. Each player will start with a small clan of survivors that you need to keep alive and grow. There are 2 modes in which you can accomplish the growth and survival of your clan. In Supply Raid, you'll have to scavenge the area and keep your team alive. Your team has a pool of 20 reinforcements. Once the reinforcements have been exhausted, the match will go into a sudden death in Survivor, or go into sudden death. In Survivors, you're going to have to be extremely vigilant. There are no respawns. Once you're gone, you've been eliminated until the next round. Best of 7 rounds, in which the first team to win 4 rounds wins the match. They got a lot of cool stuff.
Oh my god!
So
chills.
Yeah, I mean this game cannot wait. But it seems like everybody who's playing it really just says it's amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be haters though. There always is. But
yeah.
I mean, I bet they'll get drowned out. No one will listen to them. They're going to complain just for the sake of complaining.
I just wish it wasn't just on the PlayStation.
Yeah, but I mean.
Well, you can say the same thing about the Xbox, though. I mean, they have Gears of War, they have Halo, 2 big titles, and there's others, but they all have exclusives. So there's not much you can do. If you're a PC gamer and it's a PC game, then your only real complaint can be, I wish I had a good enough computer to run this new title. But there's always some catch.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, like, is it going to be released on PS4?
I would assume that they're going to probably do some port of it. This is just too big a game to force people to have to play through that like emulation online thing where it's being played on a PlayStation server and you're just seeing the remote screen. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Plus, if there's multiplayer aspects, it'll be interesting to see how that would work out if you're having to play it through a remote server. But I think we're all looking forward to it. Piper, I know your family has a PS3. This might be the time you have to like raid the house to play.
I can do that.
Is your PS3 actually online?
I have no idea. It's my dad, so I'll have to find out.
So you still have the opportunity. Um, so anyway, let's move on. We're all excited about it, and it's just exciting to see a game that we have a lot of excitement about, and it is actually so far living up to the hype.
Yeah.
All right, now this next segment, news segment, was from Danny, who we think is sleeping. So that's why it's just the three of us. He's getting some beauty sleep. So he was linked us to an article from Xbox Addict, and I'll link it here in the description, of some of the rumored titles that are for the Xbox One. Now, I don't know if these are all supposed to be exclusives. Some of these I'm not sure if they could latch into being an exclusive. But anyway, I'll just go through the list. Halo 5. I mean, duh. I mean, that's an exclusive for the Microsoft franchise, so you got to figure that. Killer Instinct. Banjo-Kazooie 4. Forza 5. Quantum Break. Halo. Spartan Assault. Rise. We'll run through these, and if you have any comments on any of them, then we can talk. Fable 4. I know a lot of people are excited about that. Crackdown 3. Fortnite. Dead Rising 3. Call of Duty Ghosts. We know that's not going to be an exclusive. Battlefield 4. No way that'll be an exclusive. Witcher 3. Dying Light. Prey 2. Homefront 2. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Mirror's Edge 2. Rainbow Six. Patriots. Brother in Arms. And listen to this one. League of Legends.
What?
Oh, what? Really?
Now, there's a lot of big titles in here. I mean, Halo,
Yeah.
Battlefield, Call of Duty Ghosts, Dead Rising, Fable. I'm not that excited about Prey. I didn't think Prey was that great, the first one. Mirror's Edge was a great game. I mean, League of Legends is, massive because it's a free game. But I guess, is it going to be a pay game here? Or you think this would be a downloadable one through Xbox Live?
Well, I think it would be a bit unfair to make people pay for it on a console when people can get it free on PC.
Yeah, I bet they're going to go pay, though. I'm going to vote that it's going to cost money. It may not be as expensive as like the $50, $60 titles,
No, that would be a bit ridiculous if it was.
but I think they're going to charge something for it. But we'll see. I'm just curious, though, really, like how many of these are exclusive. There's no way to know yet. And, of course, this is a rumored list. So, who knows? But, I mean, is there any games in there that just you're like, yes, that's a game I want to play?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Dead Rising 3 and Fable 4. I love those series. I mean, possibly the Battlefield 4. I need to get into kind of the Battlefield games, so maybe that one.
Piper, any of these games jump out at you?
I don't know many of them. The only one I know, like, played is League of Legends, and that only lasted an hour. But the others I haven't really played, so I don't know.
I would say if Piper played Fable, I think she'd like Fable. But, I mean, that's obviously
Yeah?
Yeah,
jumping you in number 4. I
yeah,
think
you would.
Okay.
Dead Rising, maybe. Call of Duty Ghosts, I think you might like the zombie mode. Um, Mirror's Edge, I think you would love. We did the Mirror's
Okay.
Edge like clone map on our channel.
Yeah, that's
Somebody
the
made
one
it in
with
Minecraft.
Pup. And Pup kept
Yeah.
falling down.
But it's kind of a parkourish type thing. So, and I don't want to say that like, oh, you hate parkour. It's different.
I might be good on the Xbox as parkour.
Well, I mean, playing Minecraft parkour or Terraria parkour are different than playing, parkour on a really good, 3D engine.
Yeah.
But yeah, those would be the things I think that you might like. Some of these other ones you could too.
I think
Forza,
you'd like
you might like.
Banjo-Kazooie. You'd like Banjo-Kazooie 4. Surely you've heard of Banjo-Kazooie.
No, I mean I've heard of like Halo before, Fable before. Fortnite actually rings a bell, but I don't know why. Dead Rising, Call of Duty, obviously I've heard of. Witcher, I've heard of. Mirror's Edge, I've heard of.
I mean, I think the
But
biggest
yeah.
thing in the case of you, Piper, is probably I don't. You probably aren't ever going to be someone who like plays a ton of any console on your own.
No.
I mean, you'll probably play most of your consoles type games if it's multiplayer, and we can
Yeah.
talk you into playing whatever the game is. But I mean, some great titles. I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to Halo. I'm I don't know what the Spartan Assault's going to be, so I'll have to look and see because it could be a strategy game, which I wouldn't be too thrilled about. Fable 4, Crackdown 3, Dead Rising 3, Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, Witcher, Beyond Good and Evil, Mirror's Edge, Rainbow Six Patriots might be good. It seems like it's been a while since we've seen a good Tom Clancy game. So anyway, I mean that's some nice big titles. We're going to know more when E3 hits here, which is just about a week away. So we'll definitely be having a lot of E3 news. All right, so let's move on. A new Super Smash or Smash Brothers trailer is going to be shown at E3. Now this is according to Mashiro Sakori. So I'm probably butchered that, and I apologize. But he's a designer, and I'm assuming with Nintendo, or with at least a third-party developer. I think he works for Nintendo. So a lot of people are getting excited about this. I mean, there's not a lot of Wii U stuff that people are getting excited about right now, but this is one thing that's coming. And of course, there's supposedly going to be more of the classic stuff. But are any of you guys Smash Brother fans?
Not really.
Anybody ever played like we've been to like a friend's house or something? It's a good game series. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good game for a group, and if you've got a Wii U or a Wii, honestly, I mean, it does. I mean, that's the one thing I think the Wii U does is it does party games really well. That's kind of what Wii Sports kind of got the whole thing started, and there's been other things, but I think the best things Nintendo's got going for them are their exclusive titles. The Zeldas, the Mario, all that stuff. And of course, just the family-friendly aspect helps them. But I don't know. I think Nintendo's going to be struggling.
Yeah.
All right, and a favorite genre of mine, favorite game, action RPG, Diablo 3, is going to be coming out for the PS3 and the 360 on September 3rd. This was mentioned on GameSpot, which we'll put a link to. I'm a big fan of Diablo. I would probably not play it on the PS3 or the 360 because I have the PC version. But a lot of people seem to think some of the early negative stuff about Diablo 3 was it felt console-ish. Maybe this is the reason people are saying that, because maybe they, from the beginning, were keeping the PS3, Xbox 360 in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, will people who have it on the consoles be able to play with people on the PC, or would it just be like
I doubt
console only? Yeah. Yeah, that's like a downfall of like things I don't think. I guess it will play better in the sense like you haven't got to like have a super buff PC to play it. You have the console, so you can play it like well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll sell well because there's still a lot of people who don't have, PCs or PCs that are good enough to play much, so they always get their games on the console, or that's just where they focus their gaming at. So I mean, it's going to be a big boost. Yeah, it'll be interesting. With the 360, I don't think there would ever be a way that Microsoft would allow you to play with PC people. PS3,
Yeah.
maybe that would be a smart move for the PS3 because they have a really different approach to the online gaming. So that's something that theoretically, maybe not for Diablo, but it would be nice to see, like, say, Killing Floor 2 comes out, and on the PS3 you can play with your PC friends.
Killing Floor 2, that would be awesome.
I believe Tripwire has kind of kept mum, but I think they are working on a sequel.
Oh my
Yeah. That'd
goodness.
be cool. More female characters, lol.
Hopefully that we don't have to pay for, yeah.
But let's go ahead and move on now to our last subject, and this was a news segment that Giz wanted to put in. So Giz, I'll
Yeah.
let you have this one.
I just saw this earlier. So it's about Metal Gear Solid 5. David Hayter, who voiced Solid Snake for like since the first game, Metal Gear Solid on the like PlayStation 1. He's voiced Snake from Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, but he's not voicing it for Metal Gear Solid 5. And today it's been announced that Kiefer Sutherland is taking over the voice. So that's like crazy. I'm kind of excited in one aspect because it's Kiefer Sutherland, but is his voice too recognizable? Is it too iconic? I don't know.
My question is, what's wrong with David Hayter? Why are they hating on Hayter?
I don't understand. Like, he wants to come back. He said in interviews that he would come back, but he hasn't been asked. So I don't know. I mean, there's talk that maybe, like rumors that maybe because he's an older Snake, because he's been in a coma for 9 years, he's now like 49. So they needed an older voice actor to play him, and I think they've kind of done motion capture on his face, so they wanted a really good actor.
Isn't
But
Kiefer
there's
Sutherland in his late 40s?
yeah, that's where they're going.
Oh, Dave, how old's David Hayter?
I think he's about mid-30s, maybe. I'm not sure of his age, to be honest. I still think he could pull it off. But there's rumours that maybe David Hayter might be appearing in the game somewhere. There are rumours because Big Boss, it's very confusing. Big Boss, who is the snake that Kiefer Sutherland is voicing, is in the past, may link into Metal Gear Solid 1, who was voiced by David Hayter, and they do meet up at some point. So there are rumours that maybe David Hayter may make an appearance voice-wise. So I'm holding out for that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this change. I'd rather see David Hayter stick with it. Kiefer Sutherland, I mean, I think he could do good voiceover work. His voice is recognizable. I mean, if as long as it's an immersive game and when he's talking cutscenes or whatever, they're good. I don't think I'll be sitting there going, "It's Jack Bauer, it's Jack Bauer, it's Jack Bauer."
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, I think this is just a change, literally just to try to get more sales, which is, I guess, what it's all about. But uh, I'll be waiting now when I play it to hear him go, "Where are the nuclear codes?" or "Where's the bomb? Set up a perimeter." And it's like, oh, Jack Bauer, Jack Bauer.
Yeah. I'm holding out hope though. I think some hardcore fans are as well. So we'll find out when the game gets released, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on now to crew news. And we're going to keep this one short and sweet. But the Moonvale test on our servers is in full swing. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, Moonvale is going to be our RPG server. You saw some sneak peeks of it at the end of our last episode of Don't Stop. We've just started testing a kind of a test version of Moonvale. We don't have the world that you saw at the end of Don't Stop. It's just a temporary world. But we're letting everybody test the plugins, test the system, try to find bugs. We've got like a form that people can submit problems or things that they see that are wrong. And a lot of people have been doing that. So we've been gathering a lot of information. I think the biggest thing right now that we've seen is PvP has really been a problem for some people.
Yeah,
Seen a lot of complaints about that. Now,
a lot of complaints.
my original vision when I first started talking about Moonvale was I wanted it to have towns, villages, and that's where people could settle. And we could have a town that's more, say, could be a bandit town, or whatever, or just a very seedy town. And PvP might be on in that town. It's up to the residents who set up that town. But I want to have like the main area of Moonvale, in a sense, kind of be like some RPG games where it's guarded. So even though you may not see guards patrolling, there's no PvP. It's a free zone, and I want it to have people have safe ways of getting from maybe a major area to another. But if you deviate off of the main roads and you go off into the woods, you're going to be in a PvP area where bandits or whoever can kill you. But we want to try to minimize that. We want PvP, but we want to let people who aren't really interested in that aspect still have a chance. The other big thing that I want to change is I never want it for people to be able to just like put houses down anywhere. I hate that because you get so many people who just start dropping a chest down, they claim land, they build a dirt tower, and then they just don't play anymore, or they go off and build somewhere else. So I want to have it where the only way you can own land is in cities, villages, and we may add more if like a village fills up. We may create like a new area for a town and then allow people to buy it. But my theory is if you're forced to actually earn money in game and you have to buy and keep paying for your land, you're probably going to, when you do that, try to build a nice house and everything. If you don't and you stop paying your rent, the house will go away. It'll slowly start to rot and it'll be gone. So
That would be cool.
that's kind
I
of
mean, not for the person, but that would be
yeah.
cool.
I mean, that's kind of the way we're going to try to take Moonvale. But I mean, right now it's a test, and we may reset this temp world. Again, we've told people don't get hung up on your characters, don't get hung up on your leveling. Some people have been going like insane leveling their characters up.
Yeah.
It's probably going to get reset even before the full Moonvale comes out. But you guys had any feedback on your experiences playing in Moonvale?
I don't like the dragons.
Yeah, I think the dragons need to go.
But apart from that, I think the guys have done a really good job actually, sorting it all out.
I've been on there quite a bit. Like on my day off, I was on there for a couple of hours, and everybody seems to be really enjoying it. And I think it's something different, like with the whole leveling up type thing and limiting what you can do until you're a certain level. It made me play for longer to try and like level up. So I really enjoyed that aspect. So it's looking good for Moonvale, the actual server when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to how people kind of like respond when they see what we've actually built on the actual proper
Yes,
Moonville.
definitely.
Yeah, now I have had some people who have messaged me and said they just want chaos back. They don't like the whole RPG aspects. So, and there's a decent number who have said that. I was going to create a straw poll maybe on our forum just to see. I think more people are going to like the idea of Moonvale, but some people have just said they don't like the RPG aspects, and for them it's more about, building, exploring with their friends, building, and just having that randomness. So some people like the idea, some people don't, but we'll try to get an idea like, what most people want.
I think it's good to refresh things though. Like, before Chaos, we actually had a PvP server which people went on and that was good. So I like doing different things
You
and
mean
this is really,
Chaos
really
1?
different. Chaos number one.
Okay. And you said
Yeah,
before Chaos. I was like, huh?
is that when I had the
Yeah,
pirate
before,
crew?
yeah,
The first one was Chaos. This is kind of like Chaos 2 that I just shut
true.
down.
Yeah, so Chaos 1 was PvP, Chaos 2, which is just gone, wasn't PvP. So I like when we mix it up. I like the different things, keeps things interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely, I think, more going on the first Chaos. I mean, there was good drama, there was bad drama, I think it was a more robust world and gameplay.
Yeah.
I think the new Chaos was literally just more about people putting stuff down and just building whatever crazy things, beautiful things, ugly things. It went all over the place. All right, so I mean that's kind of really the only crew news we want to talk about. Moonvale is up the test server. Swippin, Danny, Kama have been working on it. I'm going to throw out the hint again that they're going to post something on our forum to kind of give people how to start the game. For new players, kind of like a little first start guide to let you know how things work. Hint, hint.
Oh, that's good.
Um, but it's looking good so far. So, but let's move on to our main segment. All right, so E3 is coming up here in a week or so. What do you guys think? Big titles that you're looking forward to hearing about? Who's going to be the winners? Be it the console people, the game people. Who's going to be the losers? Just in general, your thoughts on E3.
I want to see like gameplay games. I don't want to see consoles. I don't want to see what the console. I mean, I want to see what the PS4 is going to look like as a whole. Obviously, there's been pictures floating around and stuff. People have kind of guessed what it's going to look like together. That'd be cool to see. But like, I don't want it to be like, oh, this is the PS4, this is the PS4, this is the PS4. I just want to see it and be like, okay, cool, and then see the games. Because I mean, that's what consoles are. Consoles are for games mainly. That's what they are. They're games. Play games
I
on
think
them.
it's the year of consoles though. With those two coming out, it's yeah. I don't think we're
But
gonna. I mean, they will announce the games. We're gonna have this game for it. We're gonna have that game for it. But I
yeah, but
think
yeah,
it
but
is definitely the year for the consoles.
okay, but you're making new consoles, sure, but there's no backwards compatibility with them, whatever. So then, what games are going to be played on them? What's the point in getting them if there's no games to play on them? They need to show some gameplay of games.
I have three words for you guys. Last of Us.
Last of Us is on PS3 though.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh crap.
Probably will, like Boz said earlier, probably will be like ported or whatever over
Yeah.
to it, but
Yeah, I mean, Gizmo makes a very valid point. I mean, PS3, PS4, supposedly there's backwards compatibility with the way they let you, in a sense, you're not really playing the game on your system, you're playing it on their servers, and it supposedly works really well. But that remains to be seen. But I mean, the point is definitely valid. If I go out and buy a PS4 or an Xbox One, what am I going to be able to play on it? Only these new titles. That's it. And at launch, how many titles will there be? Will there be 4 or 5 titles at launch? Will there be 15? I mean, that's really what separates the console people apart. Is when Sony does their thing, their press conference, and so does Microsoft. It's going to be about price somewhat, but I'm sure they'll be very similar in price if they even announce prices yet. But it's going to be what games are available at launch. That's what's really going to make people give a win to one side or the other. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. Sony, I think, has positioned themselves to possibly take it when it comes to just launch titles because they've been working pretty aggressively with, besides the normal developers, with indie developers. So I think you're going to see a lot of the big indie titles show up on the PS4 besides the big name stuff. I mean, we all know that EA is going to do their stuff for both consoles. I mean, most of these companies are. You know, when you hear about Halo or The Last of Us, Uncharted, Gears of War, those are exclusives for those consoles. But generally, most games are available for both. So I think it's going to really be interesting to see. I don't know who's going to be the big winner or loser. I think gamers are really going to be really having to decide heavily because there's a lot of people who aren't happy with the Xbox One because it looks like it's more of a family entertainment center and they want it to play games. But E3 is all about games, so I think that's what Microsoft will focus on.
Is Nintendo going to be there?
Yeah, Nintendo will be there. I think we'll hear stuff about, obviously, the Smash Brothers. We'll hear some stuff probably if there's going to be a new Zelda game. I mean, they're going to
Yeah,
hint about some stuff.
they did. There was a video a while back talking about they're working on the new Zelda game. So hopefully, there's at least a few bits and bobs of the new Zelda game.
I mean, the way most of the Nintendo fans have talked, I mean, besides the super diehards that had to buy the Wii U when it first came out, a lot of them have been waiting until some big titles appear. And I think that's what we're going to see next year is some of those bigger titles, that are exclusives for Nintendo appear. But I think they missed the boat with the Wii U.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Also, that game that we were talking about on that podcast ages ago. What was it called? Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Hopefully, we get to see some more gameplay of that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the gameplay footage of DayZ also, the standalone.
Oh, is that going to have
Yes.
E3?
I think there's going to be some playable DayZ at E3.
Cool.
I think one segment we're going to definitely do on a future episode is kind of talk about all these other zombie-ish games that are in the pipelines from different people. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, particularly from indies and small developers.
Yeah, zombies are like new vampires, aren't they? Really. I mean, even TV shows. Look at like TV shows like Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I think on the forum, Piper posted a link to one of the zombie games, and I think I threw a couple more in on that thread. I mean, there's quite a few of them out there. One of them, I forget the name of it, I linked to, is kind of a Minecraft-ish zombie game. It's not like it has.
Yeah.
It has better graphics. It's not, but it tries to treat things as blocks, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But looked interesting.
Is it single player though? I think.
I thought there was multiplayer on it, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. That looks cool.
I believe Starbound may have an appearance. I'm not sure at E3.
Oh, that would be cool.
But I mean, we're definitely going to try to go into more detail on E3 in later episodes after E3 ends. But we're all looking forward to seeing what happens, and I'm sure most of us will be trying to watch the press conferences live when they stream. All right, so let's move on to deals of the week. I believe the Humble Bundle that we talked about last week is still going on. Even though I didn't have this in the list, there is another Humble Weekly Bundle this week for the Serious Sam franchise. So you can name your price and get, I think, 7 or 8 different Serious Sam things. Some of them are add-ons, but obviously quite a bit. Serious Sam's kind of a throwback to Duke Nukem when Duke Nukem was fun. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It is a mature game, so if you're a younger viewer, you check with your parents before you try to get that. Another one here for Piper, Civ 5, which I think you have.
Woo! Yeah, I do.
It's 75% off right now, which is $7.50 roughly US. Through the weekend, you can play it for free though. So when this episode airs, you have about another day and a few hours, depending on when you see it, to get this free version that expires but it gives you a chance to see if you like it and if it's worth $750. I mean, you think it's worth $750, Piper?
I haven't actually played it yet.
Okay, well, I guess it's not worth $750 because
No,
Piper's
I'm
never played
sure
it.
it will be. I'm sure it will be. I've just not had the time to do it yet.
Along those lines, there's another free weekend on Steam, and it's for Saints Row the Third. It also is 75% off, which brings it to basically $10 US. Again, this one is a mature game. Civ 5 is good for pretty much any age. Saints Row the Third, definitely a mature game. You'd have to check with your parents. It's a great game. Giz, have you played much of it?
I haven't actually. I've been holding off to play it with Piper.
What, sorry, Civ 5?
Saints Row the Third.
Oh, no, I'm not playing that with you.
Yeah, you will.
She
There's
knows
female
what
characters.
she knows what Gizmo
I've
wants
read
to
up
do.
about it. I've read up about it now. I know what's in there. It's not good. Not my kind of game.
You'd like it.
Well, let's continue on before this goes to the wrong path. Because there's going to be a lot of people trying to Google Saints Row the Third and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, don't.
So again, Humble Bundle still going on. Like we talked about last week, I think you got another week or so, a little less than a week maybe when this airs. There's a weekly bundle for Serious Sam, and on Steam, Saints Row the Third and Civ 5 both 75% off and both free to play through the weekend.
Cool.
All right, so now we're going to hit questions. No video question this week.
Aw.
Somebody had posted a video question in our thing, and it linked to a private video. You have to make it unlisted, not private. If it's private, I can't see it unless you and I are friends or whatever on YouTube or whatever, however they call it. So I couldn't watch that one. Another person put a link that ended up going to the page on YouTube to let you record a video with your webcam. So that really doesn't help me any because I don't need to record a video. We already do that. So if you guys who did those, go back and do them right, and then we'll try to use your video questions. But our first question is from the Solorian. And he says, I am over 50 and have a hard time with certain things, like how to install mods and doing some of the things in Feed the Beast. But I love playing and watching your team. I watch every day. Are you planning on doing any how-to videos? So first off, thanks for watching. We really love to hear that people like what we do and they watch, every day.
Definitely.
That's even better.
Dedication.
Even if you're over 50, though, I mean, if you stick with it, I mean, age doesn't really matter when it comes to this stuff. A lot of it's
Not
just
at all.
playing. I do know some people enjoyed some of the bucket videos that I did. And if you guys have anything that you would like to see a tutorial on, post in the comments of this video and we'll look into it. And you also, Solorian, if there's certain things you'd like to see how to install certain mods, to set up servers with plugins, whatever it might be, we're not against doing more tutorials. So just people need to let us know kind of what they want to see. But it's great to see that we have a wide age in our viewer base.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, our next question comes from Astro Train 24. And the question is, although it's still more than 100 videos off, you're approaching your 1,000th video. Does the crew have any ideas what they might want to do for that video, or will it be a complete surprise? Piper?
Yes.
There you go. Okay, our last question comes from Rylomon. And we don't want to be, it may seem on that previous question that we were like vague, but we don't want to spoil what we might have planned.
Oh, it's gonna be a surprise.
So it'll be cool, whatever it is. All right, so Rylomon's question. Do you ever think that Microsoft will make a portable system like the PSP and the DS? Piper, what do you think?
Okay, my answer is I don't think they will at the moment. Maybe in the future.
Okay, Giz, what are your thoughts on this?
They might. You never know, really. I guess it just depends on what games might be on it and stuff. Like, are we talking like a miniature version of like Gears of War or something?
Well,
I mean, that could be interesting.
I mean, I would think if they do a portable game system, they'll probably try to tie in any of their exclusive stuff.
It could be cool, but I don't know.
I don't. For me, I don't think they will anytime soon. They've had a horrible track record when it comes to portable things. Their Zunes, which were kind of going to be the iPod killer, never really took off. Some people loved them, but most people were like, "Nah," and they still like the iPod or even just the cheap stuff, where like SanDisk was making cheap players. I mean, there was so many cheap MP3 players out there. If the people weren't buying the Apple products, they were buying the cheap ones. So the Zune really was died a miserable death. Then they've had all the various Windows phones. They've never been able to take off. They've got the Windows 8 phones, which are kind of using that same interface you see on Windows 8, and on the Windows 8 tablets. But again, Windows phones are very, very low on the pecking order when it comes to smartphones. They might be nice, but just nobody's buying them. Yeah, so I mean they got their new tablets, but they're overpriced. Most people say, and just not that much stuff, not a lot of games. The only one that I had any interest in was the Pro version of their tablet because it runs a full version of Windows instead of the ARM processor that's used in the tablet, which is pretty similar to the processors used in all the other tablets, but you just can't load all your Microsoft stuff on it. With the Windows 8 Pro tablet, you could actually put stuff. So I don't think Microsoft's going to jump into a portable gaming system because I think they've had such a rough go. So I don't think they're going to make a portable anytime soon, just gaming. But we might see maybe the Windows 8 tablet line. Maybe they'll come out with like a smaller, cheaper version that people will use for gaming. I mean, really, the portable market has become more of the phones and tablets now. I think more people are playing games on those than anyone playing on like a DS or a PS Vita.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Really.
you never know, if any of them tied in with their console and can come up with really cool ways. I mean, Watch Dogs integrate it with like on a Wii U, say, with that controller that's got a screen could be interesting because you could do some of the hacking right there on your screen, like the character does in the game. But anyway, that wraps up this episode of the Crewcast, episode 8. So if you guys want to say goodbye, we will head out.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the Crewcast. We hope you tune in again next time. Compass.